Hey sis, if you ever tried to pick a debt payoff strategy, but just ended up feeling overwhelmed, confused, and feeling like none of them actually fit your life, then you're not alone. Debt repayment strategies make sense on paper, but in the real world and in real life for women after divorce, it just hits different. And today, we're going to talk about how you can choose a debt repayment plan that actually supports the season that you're in right now, as well as your energy and your financial reality. I'm Ebony Burns, certified financial educator and money coach, and I help women rebuild their financial lives after divorce. Debt always feels pretty heavy, but it feels even heavier after divorce. Not just because of the numbers, but because of everything else that's wrapped around it, like the emotional stress of starting over, new expenses, and the pressure to do things right this time around. So, when you're trying to choose a repayment strategy, the goal shouldn't be perfection. It gets to be things like support, clarity, and building a plan that matches the season that you're in right now, not the one that somebody on YouTube told you that you should be in, me included. Today, I'm going to break down 3 popular debt repayment styles in a simple, shame-free way so that you can pick the one that feels best for you, because you'll be more likely to stick to that plan if you choose one that's aligned with your personality. So your debt repayment strategy has to match your season of life. So let's just get something out of the way. There is no single best way to pay off your debt. There's only the method that works with your bandwidth, your income, and your emotional capacity. After divorce, your financial season might include things like new living expenses, shifting incomes, childcare costs, legal or transition costs, as well as the emotional exhaustion that comes from rebuilding your routines and your life. All of these things matter because the debt repayment approach that works well for a well-rested, two-income household is not the same strategy that's going to work for a woman that's navigating stress, sleepless nights, and single parenting. So there are 3 main debt repayment methods that most of my clients choose from. So we're going to break down what those are in real life language that makes no sense for all of us. First one is the debt snowball method. So the debt snowball method is a method that you use to pay your smallest balance first, regardless of what the interest rate is. So that way you can get a quick win. To set this up, you're going to list all of your debts from lowest balance to highest. And then you're going to put any extra money, even if it's $10 or $15, towards the smallest balance while paying the minimums on all of your remaining accounts. You're going to continue to do this until the first account is paid in full. Then you're going to roll that entire payment into the second account that's on your list while continuing to pay the minimums on the remaining accounts. This is the most emotionally rewarding method, which is probably why it's considered to be the easiest method to stick with. And research backs this up. A Northwestern University study found that people that use the snowball method were more likely to stay consistent with debt payoff than those who tried to focus on the interest rate payments first. The next most popular method is the Avalanche method. Now, with this method, you're going to pay off the highest interest rate debts first. So mathematically, this is the most efficient option, but emotionally, it can really just feel slow and really discouraging, especially if your highest interest debt is also your largest balance. So, like the previous method, you're going to start by listing all of your debts. Then you're going to put any extra money towards the account with the highest interest rate while paying the minimums on all of your other accounts. So as you pay off each account, you're going to roll that payment into the next account on your list and continue until all of your accounts are paid off. The Avalanche method is great if you have a steady income and your expenses are predictable and you don't need emotional wins to stay motivated. Otherwise, this method may feel like pushing a boulder uphill because it can take a longer time to see that first debt completely paid off. The third method is a hybrid of the two. So the hybrid method blends the snowball and the avalanche methods together. This allows you to start with the smallest balance first until you've paid off 1 or 2 small debts. And then you take that lump sum and put it towards the debt that has the highest interest rate. This method gives you the emotional boost of paying off some small debts and then the long-term savings of tackling those higher interest months after. The majority of my clients tend to lean more towards the snowball method because they like the sense of accomplishment that they get by checking off those easier wins, without feeling burned out or stressed because you're not seeing things get moved faster. And I want you to remember that your real life matters more than the math. So your emotional capacity is a big part of your financial strategy. The right debt repayment plan is the one that you get to stick to and doesn't create shame, drain your energy, and doesn't ignore your new financial responsibilities. A single mom juggling work, healing herself and her children, and managing her household doesn't need a plan that's going to require her to be perfect or has a whole bunch of complicated steps. Instead, she needs a plan that's going to respect her humanity and gives her grace, because your strategy should reduce your stress, not add to it. Your debt repayment plan is supposed to help you feel calmer, clearer, grounded, and more in control of your money. So if your plan stresses you out or makes you feel like you're always failing, I want you to know that you're not doing it wrong. You're just using the wrong method. When you're rebuilding after divorce, the goal is to build a realistic, supportive financial system that helps you with your money, not punishes you. Now that you're more familiar with these debt repayment strategies, I want you to pick one method that feels the easiest for you to stick with. A simple way to know which one of these methods is right for you is, as you're thinking about them, the method that makes you exhale instead of tense up, that's going to be the one you should choose. So pick it, commit to it, and then revisit that plan every month so that way you can adjust as needed. If you want help choosing a strategy that really fits your life right now, download my free financial reflection workbook. It's going to walk you through your habits, your emotions connected to your finances, helping you fully understand the season of life that you're in right now so that you can make the choice that supports you best. I'll put the link in the description below so that you can get started today. Sis, I want you to remember that debt repayment is not a race. And no matter where you are in your journey, you deserve a plan that feels supportive, steady, but most of all, attainable.